Speaking of fighters, you went with the
Top five, top
top
five, top
five.
five,
Yeah. So for this week's
top five, top five, top five.
top five,
Yes, yes.
I'm gonna speak on the top five fighters across martial arts, boxing, wrestling. Just the top five favorites, most recognized boxers, fighters for ourselves for this week's top five. So you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go one. I'm gonna go with my honorable mention.
Okay.
Um, he's a young cat. He's really never really fought anybody
Okay.
to really be named as much as far as my top five.
Okay.
But I just think there's a person you should watch.
Oh.
Deontay Wilder.
Okay.
That boy can hit. Just watch him. But let me go into my top five fighters that I've enjoyed and who has impressed me in the arena, with MMA and boxing included. I'll go number five, and the reason why he's number five is because he can't stay off the cocaine. Is John Bones Jones. That man is deadly.
Okay.
23-1. His one defeat coming off of a illegal elbow, which he was on full mount, was pretty much about to finish the guy, but came wrong on an elbow. That's my number five. The reason why he's this low is because after just coming back after I think a 2-year hiatus because of problems, had his fight, won a championship, and now suspended from UFC for that cocaine. So I go on to my number four. It is Mr. Iron Mike Tyson.
Okay.
If you do not know this man, just Google Tyson. Don't blink. It was only 5 to 8 seconds to fight. He comes in, ding ding, knockout. Love this guy. He was known for that, but if you watch him as a boxer, he actually could box. He did go rounds. You seen him against Buster Douglas, even though he lost that fight. That was he fought that one. That was a bad fight for him, but that was I seen him go into that was I hated that fight. But besides that, great boxer.
Iron Mike Tyson.
Iron Mike. Number three, I'm gonna go with Money Floyd.
Mm.
I'm gonna have to put him on this list just because of the fact of, no matter you may say when he may have fought fighters or when he fought fighters at this, at the end of the day, he's fought every top fighter at, not maybe in all their levels, but he's fought every top fighter, I think, in my sense. Everyone has been the top in their game. Maybe not in their game, but he's fought every top fighter.
Okay.
As long as the price was right, he fought him.
Okay.
I give him that. Number two, I'm going to give to the Spider, Anderson Silva.
Oh. Okay.
He was a deadly UFC fighter. I've never in my life seen a person get knocked out with a front kick. I don't even think it was possible. He's done it. He used to taunt the players, taunt the fighters. Never had his hands to his face. Always drags, almost like a spider. And he would just play with people. Just play with people on that ring. He fought everyone. I think he had the record of defense in UFC, which was 9 or 10. And he was just relentless when he went out there. And my number one is the late, great Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
That is the unofficial number one. Sting like a butterfly, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Correct.
My man will talk to you, even though in some instances you could see that he had some rumbles, especially that rumble in the jungle.
Yeah, Joe Frazier and him had some fights.
Yeah. George Foreman fight, that was a great one when he came back and he won that championship, being as old as he was.
Rope-a-dope time.
Oh man, it was amazing. That was my number one.
Okay.
Your top five.
That was a great top five, brother. That was a great top five.
All right.
For me, very similar list. For my honorable mention, I got a few here. I'm gonna start with Anderson Silva, one of my honorable mentions. I think he was one of the iconic MMA fighters so far to do it. From what I've heard and from what I've seen, he was legendary for what he did. Moving right along to Jet Li, one of the great martial artists of the modern era.
Oh, you're the
very short guy, but very respected for his craft, his ability to perform the martial arts. Also, lastly, my honorable mention, Iron Mike Tyson. I would have liked to have got him in the list, but there's a few more fighters here that I think are just greater. But Mike had to be mentioned.
I didn't know he was doing martial arts. Bruce Lee would have been
Yeah.
on my list.
Of course. So I'm gonna jump right into my top 5. At number 5, Sugar Ray Robinson. I think he's like when you consider fighters, he's almost like the prototypical fighter. He's somebody that you study off of. He was that great. He's the almost a Richard Pryor to stand up. He is to boxing. He's what you look at as the great of a boxer. And then moving into number 4, John Jones. From all accounts, he's as great as it's ever been in this MMA thing. Barring his drug problems and the suspensions, there's nobody or nothing that has stopped him inside the octagon at all. And therefore, one of the greatest fighters ever to do it. Then I moved into number 3, the iconic and legendary Joe Louis. Went international during times of segregation, was the unanimous greatest boxer of that time, regardless of what he had to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as fighters, for number 2, Bruce Lee. Iconic, one of the greatest martial artists, one of the greatest fighters to ever do it. Said he was so fast, he had to slow down for the camera. He was able to perform ping pong with his kicks, nunchucks, things that are just
punch.
Some things that are just unheard of. His fitness ability was unheard of.
Sorry, Bruce.
One of the great fighters to absolutely ever touch this earth. And number 1 calls himself the greatest, and we hold him as the greatest, Muhammad Ali, otherwise known as Cassius Clay.
Whoa. His mama call him Clay. I'm going to call him Clay.
So that rounds out my top five.
I'm sorry, Bruce Lee. I didn't know we were doing. I ain't thinking about the fighters. I'm sorry. You should have been my number 2. Mike would have been honorable mention.
Sorry.